On this episode, we talk about the toys and the noise and all the presents under the tree.
Welcome to Save Every Universe. My name is Alec Garcia, one of your co-hosts. I am an AI with a British accent, engineered to be a moron and make bad decisions.
My name is Robbie. I'm a purple, bunny-hooded merchant and failed hero who now rents his wares to an upcoming hero to help him save the kingdom.
Very nice. Who were you last week?
Last week, I don't know if I'm saying this right, I was Hwarang from the Tekken series.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that either.
He's the red-headed, kicking, fighting dude. I don't know. He's been in it for since Tekken 3. He's my favorite.
If you missed it, last week we talked about fighting games. I was Johnny Cage, which I didn't know this until I started doing a little research into this, but the original Mortal Kombat, but when the developers were making the game, it was all just Johnny Cages, and they had like a model that was based, I guess, loosely on Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they were just Johnny Cages fighting each other, and then they added more characters later to the series.
You know, another fun fact about Johnny Cage is the reason Alec likes that character is because he can actually do the splits, punch you in the dick move in real life.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also Alec's signature fighting move.
That's what my teen years were mostly dedicated to. It was perfect.
He got in a whole lot of trouble, but the women loved it.
So on today's episode, we were talking about Christmas. Great segue.
Yeah, and to get in the spirit of things,
Nutcracker, Christmas, nailed it.
We are also drinking hot cocoa with peppermint schnapps.
Yeah, so getting to a little bit festive, we encourage you to have a hot cocoa or similar beverage with or without adult contents within to get in the spirit. Well, as you listen to this episode, today we're going to be talking about just the Christmas video game season, what's worth buying, what's hot, what's not, as the kids say. Robbie, what have you on the docket today?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. I think more for me, I just want to talk about like the idea of buying. I mean, buying games at this time of year is kind of, there's a strategy to it. Yeah. I think you can take advantage of a lot of the sales. You can also kind of get hosed. Yeah. I think, depending on how you go about this. So.
Yeah. So I looked at your notes and I was like, wow, those are really great and positive. And I looked at my notes, and I am kind of a Grinch when it comes to the gaming season throughout Christmas, and I feel like I have been for the last 3 to 5 years-ish, last 3 or 4 at least. It really seems like the industry has shifted to where a lot of the good games come out in the spring, early summer type territory. And the holiday season really isn't what it used to be. You get a few good big releases like September, like early fall. And then it's kind of just, it feels to me a little bit more like Christmas is about catching up on all the games you missed for the rest, like the previous year, or it's about picking up a new console that you're going to invest into the next year.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, and also you don't tend to get as big of sales on the blockbusters that came out. Like right now, it's not like Star Wars Battlefront 2 is any cheaper. That's not 100% true. There were some games like Assassin's Creed Origins that was like $30 on Black Friday, which is pretty cool considering it just came out.
But I mean, I guess when I say that, you get Assassin's Creed Origin, you get Call of Duty, you get like some of these like really standard, but even Far Cry has pushed back into the spring. Like you get like a couple big blockbuster releases that, in my opinion, aren't worth picking up anymore. Assassin's Creed to me is a little bit dead. And a lot of the newer, fresher stuff isn't really coming out till the spring.
Yeah, so I guess I look at the Christmas season less about trying to get all the new, like, greatest hits, and I try and think of it from more, well, one, for giving gifts. I don't know, some of us have forgotten about that. But one thing I like to do during the holiday season is if I have a friend who's like hasn't played a story game, and if it's a friend I would get a present for,
right?
Not like Alec, but like other friends,
good friends
that I would buy a present for. I think this is like a really good time to if there's a game that has like a meaningful story, like
I can see that, yeah.
And I think of it the same way that you would like a good book, a movie, something like that. Like if you're like, hey, I love this movie. I
played this, I loved it. I think you will too.
I think you will too. This is a really good time for that, to pick up Last of Us or Breath of the Wild or whatever, something. I mean, Last of Us isn't new, but something that has impacted you maybe recently, has a great story. Horizon Zero Dawn had really good sales.
That was the one of the ones that I thought of. They have a great like complete package and stuff like that. And if you missed Horizon Zero Dawn, or you know someone who like you think like gifts, whatever, I'm not going to talk about that. I don't even care about that. If you missed it and you want to, like, if you didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn, that was one of the great games this year. Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda Breath of the Wild were two of the best games this year.
Yes.
And if you missed either one of those, now is a good time to pick those up. If you don't have a Wii, now is actually a good time to pick up a Switch. Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Mario Odyssey, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, like Doom, LA Noire. There's actually a lot of really good stuff on the Switch. I feel like now is a safe time. Even if you're not an early adopter, now's a safe time to get on board with the Switch at Christmas.
So here is where I would probably disagree with you. So what I don't like about the holiday season in this time is there's like this pressure to blow all your money on a new console, even if you don't want it. It's like right now, out, because I like to wait for things to be on sale or whatever.
Right.
I either want to be the early adopter or I want like a financially a better, like I want a sale.
Get the
I
price
want a
drop on the
discount.
console and have the library of games at your disposal.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me right now, I wouldn't buy a Switch right now because there's no good deals. You're just paying. I mean, it's in
Full
stock.
price with the console.
And again, that kind of angers me because I'm like, oh, it's in stock. Like if you go to any ad page right now, GameStop, Best Buy,
like that's the
they're
offer.
Like,
we have
our
it.
offer is we have it. And that kind of makes me go like, well, fuck you. Like you should have it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna give you my money.
And
just
there are some
because-
really good deals still now on like PlayStation 4s and on like I think you get an Xbox One S for like $180 or something stupid.
Yeah. If you're like, I would agree with you. And like, if you're on the fence or you've always wanted to get an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever, now is an awesome time to do it. On consoles that have just come out, like the Switch, I personally would rather wait because I'm kind of like, I don't know, all this is different if you're like a dad or a mom and you have kids who really want it and you're willing to pay that. Then that's fine. And I'm probably going to get there too. Right now, my kids don't care that much.
Yeah.
They love the Wii U.
Yeah, if your kids were a little bit older, though, like now really would be a good time to buy a Switch. There is enough of a library there that your kids would get months or at least a year of enjoyment out of it just with what's out now.
Right.
And then there's Yoshi and there's Kirby. There's a bunch of cool stuff coming out.
There is stuff coming out, and there is a lot of good stuff now. So I agree with you as far as that goes. It's just from a robustness standpoint, it's a pretty good time to get one. But as far as like, there's so much better sales right now. To me, I'm like, what a waste of money. Like you get your tax return back, and you're burning for a Switch.
That's a good point.
Go buy a Switch. But right now, there's such killer deals on other shit. I would rather expand my current library or upgrade other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I thought about buying a Switch this holiday. I thought there'd be like a holiday bundle or something, and they just did the like, you're gonna buy it and you're gonna thank us. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
And that's but for a lot of people, that's probably true. Like now that there's a healthy flow of inventory, like people are gonna snatch them up or get them for their kids or whatever.
Yeah, and that's fair. But to me, they're just doing their job.
That's fair.
Another thing I like to do, I like to take advantage of the holiday season to coerce a friend into playing an online game that I like. Like, I think this is a great time to guilt your friends into playing something with you, like Overwatch. If you have a friend who's been holding out, there's been great deals on Overwatch. The DLC's free. It's easy to be like, I dropped $20. No, you have to try it. You know, it's a good way of giving them just a taste or whatever. Yeah. Destiny, maybe not an MMO if, because there's a subscription and that can be
I actually think Destiny 2 is like a good one for that. Like they've done enough to adopt it to be a little bit more approachable and a little bit more casual friendly. And then with the DLC dropping, actually the date that this podcast will release, the DLC will launch for Destiny 2, which is cool. I think now's a good time if you've been holding off and you've been watching all the toxic YouTube videos about how it's a terrible game. Yeah. It's really not a terrible game if you're not expecting it to be the Jesus Christ savior of your life. Like it's a video game it's a great shooter with fantastic mechanics. And if you have a friend that plays it, it's a really fun time to play with other people. And now is a good time to get on as this first DLC launches.
And honestly, I mean, playing a shitty game with friends is fun.
Yeah.
And this is not a shitty game.
No, it's solid.
So this is, I really like to take, I'm not really doing it. I'm doing actually a little bit, I can't say because you might listen to the podcast, but I am coercing somebody this year, like a relative, by doing this very thing. But I think there's been times in the past I've done it with my brother. It's a good time of guilt coercion. So if you have no problems doing that, I suggest you take advantage because I know Destiny 2 had a good sale. Overwatch had a good sale.
I think there's a good point there though that just that games are funner when you play together.
Absolutely.
Like you and I have actually, since we've been doing this podcast, been playing a lot more together, like in the same room side by side, and it's been really fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to give the gift of a game. If it's something like your friend's on the fence or they don't want to quite invest in it, if it's not an unreasonable price, pick it up for them and play it together. I think that's a great gift.
Yeah, and I also agree.
Fellow gamer.
I agree with you in the selfish sense that if there's some games you've been on the fence about or didn't feel like investing $60, but you realize you've like played through your backlog or whatever, now's an awesome time to try out some of these games for yourself. Games like Evolve or Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever.
Yeah, because Horizon Zero Dawn has the complete collection. I was looking at GameStop and Target and like some of these different websites. Horizon Zero Dawn has a complete collection with the DLC that game was fantastic. And The Walking Dead, the complete Telltale series collection, you can buy the whole collection together. Like you missed that was a fantastic game, man. Like now is a good time to play catch up, even if you don't get a new console, even if you don't. Because in my opinion, a lot of the big releases aren't hitting until the spring anyway.
I think so too. And if you think that there's some exclusives coming out, that's another reason to buy a console like a PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah.
If you're like, well, I know like...
Okay, so I'm fairly anti-Xbox, and we were talking a little bit about this. I think the PlayStation 4 has so many better original titles. All my friends now basically play PlayStation. I was very tempted to purchase an Xbox just because of PUBG, because I don't have a PC, and to get a Xbox One S at $189 and pick up PUBG for $30, which comes out this month. Like, I've been wanting to play that. That one actually tempted me just to get that exclusive, because it's not coming to PS4 for who knows how long.
I probably shouldn't belabor this point, but that's another exactly what I mean. Like, I could go buy an Xbox for $189 or a Switch for full price. Like, I just couldn't do it right now.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a deal.
It really is.
I had to trade in my Xbox. I was having some issues with it, but I was like, I'm just gonna go all in on PlayStation for this generation. But even that deal, I'm like, God dang, that's hard to turn that down. I mean, that's a hell of a deal.
It really is.
I think now's a really good time if you've like been wanting to get another controller, upgrade your headset.
That's a good point too. I mean, upgrading your headset, like I think that's one of those gifts that if you have a gamer in your life or whatever, or to gift to yourself or whatever, like upgrading your headset is like everyone you play with will thank you for upgrading off of your shitty mic.
Yeah, a headset's a good example of one of those things where maybe you don't feel like it's not gonna make the game better. Though I will say, like I have the Sony Gold headset, and it makes it sound amazing. It has a surround sound. You can actually hear people coming up behind you and stuff.
And if you play first person shooters that have like Battlefield, for example, that has a little bit more of that like 360 type sound, and you hearing footsteps or hearing gunfire from a specific direction is like, it changes the game.
Yeah. So upgrading a headset is kind of one of those like quality of life things where maybe you didn't initially think it was a big deal. It's a big deal, but once you do it, you're going to hear people better. Your family may thank you. You know, if it's the type of headset that has like, you can pump in the outside noise and all that stuff. I mean, it can be huge. And now there's killer deals on headsets. It's also a good time if your controller kind of sucks. Now's a good time to upgrade your controller. At least the Sony PlayStation ones on Black Friday, they were like $30 off. I mean, that's a steal. I rarely see them go on sale that cheap the rest of the year. I took advantage of it, actually. It wasn't even a present. It was just I wanted a fourth controller.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, I'm buying that one. So I think now is a really good time to take advantage. I have kids that are starting to game, but so I actually used like the 2DS. So Nintendo's not doing good deals with the Switch, but their DS are cheap and they have great bundles. So I took advantage of that to buy my
the
son.
actual like block big square one that doesn't fold. It's not the clamshell thing. It's the
it's the 2DS.
Yeah,
they don't fold.
They have some really fantastic deals, and the lineup of 3DS games is just insane right now.
Yeah, so actually I decided to I bought my oldest son a 2DS with Mario. He's good at Mario, so I know he can play that. And then it's kind of cool because I have a 3DS, so I don't mind letting him play Zelda and that kind of thing. But I think it's a good time to do that. And I know this will change as they get older. So he didn't have one, so I think he's gonna freak out because he's been asking for one. Every time we go to like a store like Best Buy or GameStop, he always plays whatever the demo one is. It was a killer deal. Like included the game, had the thing, was like $80. And even if you would have bought one used, it was only like $5 more to buy the new bundle. So it's a good time for that. If you have kids or you've thought about getting like a DS or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there really are so many games that I feel like I've missed out on. I mean, particularly like the Zelda Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, the 3DS library is killer. I mean, you can put hundreds of hours into that library. And I ended up finally, like I had one and never explored it. And then about 3 years ago, I just started like the Fire Emblem games. I went and played the Pokemon games and they're great. It's just, there's a lot of quality there, the Mario games. So I would say if you want to go Team Nintendo and you wanted to find a good deal, I think the DSs are like the best deal this
well, and even the new folding 2DS XL, what it is?
Yeah, there's just the 2DS XL.
I mean, even those are pretty reasonable. I mean, they're like $149 or something like that.
Yeah, they've cut the prices on all of them for the season. And with some of these consoles, they don't always stay that low. Sometimes they do, but lately, like for the last 2 years, I've noticed a lot of these console prices go back up after the holidays.
So actually, this is something I've been wanting to ask you. What do you think of the Xbox One X? I don't think we really talked about this too much. Do you think that is like a console worth purchasing? Because there's probably people that are thinking, who own Xbox and are thinking about like jumping over to the Xbox One X, like PS4 to PS4 Pro type thing. There's people who never bought an Xbox. Well, what do you think about that? I don't think we've ever talked about.
No, I guess we haven't. Let's talk about that real quick. So for me, the Xbox One X is good if you are really into specs, frame rates, highest horsepower.
I mean, because there are I think it seems like going into the future, the tech is there for it to do 60 frames a second, native 4K on some of that stuff, where PS4 Pro is doing doing the little checkerboard imitation 4K at 30 frames per second on all that stuff. Yeah.
So if you're really into that and you think you can tell the difference and it's really important that you have a TV
that can actually support
that shows it. Yeah. I mean, if you don't, I think it's a waste. I personally don't think it matters that much. If mine died, I would probably go for the higher one or whatever, but like I wouldn't upgrade my PS4 to a PS4 Pro. I would wait till my PS4 needed to be upgraded.
Yeah.
But I don't have a 4K TV. I don't have a 4K monitor, and I'm still finding great games look great.
They really do. Like coming from PS4 Pro and then playing over at your place, like just on a normal PlayStation 4. I have noticed some like load speeds on stuff that's a little bit faster with a Pro, that kind of thing. But I don't know if it's worth the price tag to make that jump.
Well, and actually,
it's more of a vanity purchase, like like how we talked on the PC versus console gaming about wanting the absolute best. If you're a console gamer and you want the absolute best, I guess, but I don't know if it's a significant enough difference.
Right. I think it's if you're an enthusiast, it's probably worth it. It does look good. I watched. I had a coworker bring one in and we hooked it up. It's beautiful, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and I bought a PlayStation 4 Pro just because I'm a little bit of a diehard PlayStation guy, so I can see that argument from the Xbox side.
Well, and if you remember, I when you were playing on your Pro, my load times were better than you because I've installed like a high performance hard drive.
That's right. So if you're willing to pull the hood up and actually do some fine tuning underneath.
It was cheap. It cost me like $50, and then I have like a 2 terabyte high performance hard drive, and I was loading stuff faster than somebody on a Pro.
If you can do that on a Pro, and then
you can.
See, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you could. So just I know it's a sidebar, but I think if you're an enthusiast, cool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna like change the way the war is won or anything like that. I mean,
it really is an in between type phase right now. It doesn't. It feels the whole industry feels like sort of like it kind of is stagnating. Like the whole race toward. We were talking about this a little bit before we started recording about. There's a video by a YouTube channel called Game Theorists where they're talking about sort of where the industry is at, why the game industry is a little bit broken right now. Super interesting, but basically the short version is like it used to be this race to make things realistic, and now everything is so good and so realistic that's it's sort of like what now? I feel like that's where the whole industry is at, and they're like making these incremental improvements with PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, or even if they come out with PS5 and it's whatever, it's like comparable to like a really good PC. Like who cares really? Like it's these tiny incremental improvements, and it's the industry feels like everyone's asking, this is all great, now what?
So actually, that one of the points I want to make on this episode, I kind of think the fact that you can go buy a game right now that's $10 that looks the way it does and plays the way it does
is insane.
Is so cool. Like it's if you would like when we were children, if I was like, dude, what you're playing for? I bought Super Mario RPG for $60 or $50.
Yeah.
Full price.
Yeah. Now, if you went back to the past and showed yourself, like
this is what you're going to be playing when you're an adult for Christmas.
You would kill a sibling and like, sell your parents' car.
Exactly.
It's to like get your hands on that.
So even though I agree that like we're in an interesting place,
don't
do that. Yeah. Even if it allows time travel, don't do that.
Even if someone comes from the future and tells you to kill somebody, do not listen to them.
But I think it's really cool, and I know this is kind of positive and sappy, but I think it's just so cool that we live in this time and like we're at this such a high time for gaming that you can buy a VR headset on sale.
Yeah, well, I think exactly. Like, and it used to be like this multi-thousands dollars thing that you had to go in an arcade and pay like $40 to play like 15 minutes. It was just ridiculous.
Right,
and now you can have one in your home that's way better quality.
Yeah,
and stuff. And
it's on sale. Like it was on sale during this holiday. I'm like, that's insane.
I mean, going back to the Destiny 2 thing and like all the drama going on with like Battlefront 2 and all this, like I think people lose sight of like how mother effing good games are right now. It's just insane how good gaming is right now. And it's gotten to a point of like sort of entitlement or something, and gaming is really, really good right now.
It is. Yeah, I was playing Battlefront 2 and I just stood there looking at the ocean. Like I was playing one of the PvP maps and I was like, I might get sniped, but god damn, that looks good. Yeah. Like I just watched like sea creatures leap out of the ocean and I was like, this is the coolest
and even
thing.
Being able to just like hit join game and getting a game with like thousands of people who are playing this game right now and just being able to like log in, and like that's like everything about gaming right now is pretty damn incredible.
Yeah, and we probably sound a little old and crotchety, but it is a little bit like Louis C.K.'s rant where he's like, you live in the best time and
you're worried about your Wi-Fi being slow. Halo and you're in a tube in the air
Yeah.
like 600 miles an hour. And
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool time. So don't get too caught up in the bullshit and the drama, I would say, this holiday.
And I guess that's part of what I thought is like part of me is like a little bit Scrooge, bah humbug. The gaming season in the holidays kind of sucks, but it really is a good time to actually be like, okay, I missed some stuff that I'll probably love to play, and everyone has like a day or two off or whatever your time frame is during the holidays that you get to play a little bit more than you probably normally would at any other time, and just play what you love, pick up what you love, because gaming is really freaking good right now.
Yeah, now's a great time to light a fire, drink some schnapps, and catch up on those old titles.
Thank you for listening to Save Every Universe. If you enjoyed this episode, just have a good holiday season.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Time will come when you face defeat, when you know so desperately that you're right, but you fail nonetheless.
I'm over that.
You're over that.
What is he, Gaul? Come on.
Gaul?
I'm over that shit.
Who's Gaul?
From Destiny 2. Gary.
Yeah.
They're all like, your light can't save you, and you're done, and whatever. And then they have to rally together, and you gotta save the universe.
I don't know that they're gonna win this, first round.
I know, because there's gotta be a part 2.
Gotta be.
It's
gonna be good.
It's probably gonna be good.
You're a hater, dude. It's too popular. As soon as it broke 1 million
Bane,
views...
Gaul, Thanos. They're all the same.
No, dude. And I think the agents of the moon are gonna come, and they're gonna stop them, dude.
The stingers to all our episodes are just gonna be Marvel blasphemy.
Only by you.
Yeah. And you
I was being
defending it
sarcastic.
hopelessly.
Okay, I was doing it ironically.
Who's the hipster now? On this episode... On this episode, we ask you to whip it out and tell you where to put it. Your wallet.